Welcome to Unity of Tacoma. My name is Nicola Linde, and I'm going to sing some songs for you today. This song's all about just appreciating people and appreciating the love for other people, even in those dark times. This song's called Thank You. Stillness, there is quiet. It stirs me awake. Been going through motion, day by day. Sometimes I feel so broken. I can't even sleep. Sometimes I get so frozen. So thank you for loving me. In the darkness there is silence. It haunts me to this day. Been defeated by my own emotions. Once again. Sometimes I feel so broken. I can't even sleep. Sometimes I get so frozen. So thank you for loving me. Visual, nothing new. Tired heart, tried and true. Only you love like you do. So thank you. Sometimes I feel so broken. I can't even sleep. Sometimes I get so frozen. So thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving me. Thank you for loving me.
Thank you, Nicola. That was Nicola Linde. Let's give her another round of applause. She's our musical guest for today. I'm so excited. Thank you for coming and being here with us today again. Really enjoyed it last time you were here. This is the second time she's been here with us, and we intend to have her back many more times. So I'm so glad that she is here today. Thank you for being here. Good morning and welcome to Unity of Tacoma. My name is Reverend Lori Irwin Johnson, and I use the pronouns she and her. And if this is your first time watching, I'm so glad that you decided to join us today. If you've been here before or tuned in or checked out our other videos, I'm so glad that you did. We appreciate you coming back each and every time to Unity of Tacoma. We're so glad to have you here. I have a special guest here today. This gentleman right here, you always see me, but this gentleman right here is my husband Rick. And he is here because we are going to be focusing on Mental Health Awareness Month. We're going to start that off today. And he's going to tell his story that is less about mental health, but it's about perseverance, mental perseverance and resilience. So we're going to talk about that. So thank you for being here today.
Happy to be here.
Thank you. All right, and so this series is going to go on throughout the month, and so we're going to have different kinds of conversations about this and making sure that we have representation from all different walks of life, They're all different experiences, and I personally am inspired by Eric's story, so I'm looking forward for you to hear his story too. I'd like to start off today with a prayer for protection. If you know the words, please say them with me. If you don't, please just listen. You can repeat after me if you like. And also too, if you're online, you can see them on the screen. Let us pray. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. And wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And let's just take a moment to sit while we're in prayer. Opening our hearts, opening our minds, opening our spirits to whatever it is that we are willing and able to hear today. Knowing that we are here by divine appointment. We are here to learn the things we need to learn. And we are open to what needs to be heard and said. It's such a grateful moment for us to be together, all of us here, being here, experiencing God in all our different ways, knowing that we are supported, we are loved in community, and you are loved wherever you are. So grateful again for this opportunity. Know that this is the right place to be, and so it is. Amen. And I'm going to have Nicola come back with another song, and then we're going to come back with our wonderful conversation with her.
Thank you. I thought that we would do a sing-along for a bit of a community song. This is one that I'm sure that you probably know, but I've changed it up a bit and added another song in the middle, but it's pretty catchy, so I hope you sing along. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found. Was blind, but now
sometimes when you're sitting here and you're like, okay, so how do I be motivated? It's Sunday morning, I wanted to sleep in. You ever get to roll out of bed and you're like, oh, it was one of those mornings. But she got me up and going. And so thank you so much for that. Our affirmation for today is every portion of my mind and body manifests perfect health. Why don't you say that with me? Every portion of my mind and body manifests perfect health. And our reading for today is from Muji. And Muji, if I am ever in a space where I am low or I just need to be brought up a little bit, I always turn on YouTube and I turn on Muji and I get into a space of just being source. And he puts me in that space. So yesterday, after we were done here, we did sandwiches. I was so excited to be able to make the sack lunches for the in-house, and that was a great program. But I was just a little tired, and I was like, I'm just going to put Muji on. And Muji brings me up. So this was what I got from Muji yesterday. He said, sometimes the way to completeness, to truth, brings a vivid recognition and rejection of what is false in your present way of experiencing life. You may think, oh no, I really thought I was somewhere further along and making good progress, but now I see even that was not true or real. Your world is suddenly turned upside down and you feel discouraged and full of despair. But do not be disheartened. Rather, keep an attitude of gratitude. It is your good fortune that your world is being crushed. Don't have a world. I myself am supremely happy without one. You imagined that your world is upside down is only enabling you to see that which is true and to let what is false fall away into oblivion. This is a sign of grace, which your mind misinterprets in its present state. If divine assistance did not come, your delusions would persist and prevail and leave you deeply asleep to the real. Grace is helping you in every way. Trust this. Choose her, and she will remove this sense of separation that creates illusory distance between you and your God. Pray this day. Remove this arrogance from your mind and heart, and merge me in your forever. And our spiritual lesson for today is from Luke 22:23. And they were talking with each other about these things which had taken place. And while they were talking and discussing, Jesus himself approached and began traveling with them. One of the things that we like to do at my house, and we've been doing this since my children were really, really young, is we offer times of conversation where we're able to get together and just bring about whatever it is that's on our minds in the moment. We sit around and we often have snacks and things like that, but we just sit around and we just start talking. And we let that conversation take us to where we need to go. And it has become such a ritual for our family that my children, our children, his children too, I guess. Sort of. They come by and they need that time to just be able to talk and just to be able to, whatever comes to mind. And so today I thought it's a really great way for all of us, it was a great way for us to be able to connect, but also to deal with our own mental, wherever we are, whether it was mental issues or resilience that we were working with or whatever it is we needed. We always did these conversations. So as we go through this month, I thought it would be interesting to have conversations with individuals to see how they deal with day to day. I mean, we're coming outside of a pandemic right now, and I don't know about you, but I am still reeling from that. And that was a couple of years ago it started. 3 years now? Almost 3 years. And we're looking at a time where people are still recovering from whether it be financial or mentally or spiritually or physically or whatever it is. We're still trying to get back to a place where we feel like we're in balance. So So we're going to take this month of Mental Health Month and we're going to have conversations. And so I invited my husband Rick because he knows the format. And, and so, not that you don't know, most of you know Rick, but Rick is a retired he worked at the school district and he's retired now, but he also works as a wedding officiant, for those of you who don't know, on the side occasionally. So, thank you for being here, Rick.
Happy to be here.
That's weird, interviewing your husband. It's weird. I'm just going to say that. You ever had to do that? It's weird.
Obviously, no prep.
No pressure.
Okay. So I want you to start off with us and tell us about your spirituality prior to your crisis. And then we're going to talk about your crisis today. So tell people about where you came from, and then we'll go into that portion of the conversation.
Happy to. I came from Tacoma. I was born and raised here, born at Tacoma General Hospital. 17th of February, 1962. I was born in a turmoil. My mother had pneumonia when she gave birth to me. Her husband, my father, had died 2 months before that in a plane crash. Her father had died a month before that of a stroke. So, starting in the turmoil is where I started. The storm was where I was born. And you learn very young, when those circumstances are where you are from, that you can either deal or be destroyed. And I chose to deal. And it has gotten me through my life to this point. And I like to think it has helped her. We've been together for over 35 years. And we've had our share of turmoil. And I like to think over 35. I was there. And it's helped our kids get through some turmoils that they've been through as well. When you're in the storm, you can't see out. But what you have to learn is that no storm lasts forever. So you will come out the other side. And sometimes the storm, you get to the eye and you think you're out, but you're not. You're still in the storm. You're just in a calm spot. So I learned very young that how you react to what you're facing determines who you are and how you react further on in your life to other things. I was raised a Unitarian by a lovely, wonderful pack of hippies. And I love them all dearly. And they helped me understand that, that life will deal you things that you are not prepared for. But if you start from here, your heart, and knowing that, the basis of everything is love, then you can get through whatever you're facing. And I learned that young. And I'm very, very fortunate that I learned that young. And it has helped me get through other turmoil since then. When I turned 55, I woke up one morning and my right eye no longer functioned. And it was no precursor, no indications. I just woke up and was blind in one eye. And I calmly got out of bed and went in the bathroom and pulled out a flashlight and tried to get my right pupil to dilate. And it wouldn't. So I knew I had lost sight in that eye for whatever reason. And I still never got a really good explanation, other than I threw a very, very tiny clot in my central right retinal artery. And it just took the sight. The eye still functions, the muscles are all still there, but it doesn't see anything. And so I calmly went out into the living room where my wife and daughter were having one of our family talks. And I said, Kate, to my daughter, can you drive me to the hospital? I seem to have lost my right eye. And both of them immediately panicked. and I was all calm. I was like, okay, it's the storm, you deal. I get to the hospital, and the people in the hospital are absolutely distraught. And I am all calm. And they're like, you're handling this really well. Well, crying and screaming won't help me. Feeling sorry for myself certainly won't help me. So let's figure out what it is so that I keep the left one. Can we do that? And 4 days, 2 trips up to Seattle to Swedish. Later, they're like, we're not sure. And I was like, okay. And all along, everyone I talked to was like, you're very calm about this. And I said, well, what are my choices? You know, how I react dictates how I go forward. So I was very calm. Yeah, okay, I lost an eye. You know, and I smoked for 45 years. And that was the impetus to make me stop smoking. So did I learn a lesson? Yes, I did. Did God poke me in the eye and say quit smoking? Possibly. But whatever the cause, the result was, I quit smoking. And that was a bonus. You know, that was a plus out of what otherwise was a very dark spot for me. Because you don't sit up and see half a room and be comfortable with it. And I was by no means comfortable. But I understood that, okay, something you get to deal with again, and just deal with it as calmly as you can. And every single doctor I've talked to, including the head of ophthalmology is Swedish, is like, you are way too calm about this. He says, I'd be freaking out. And I said, well, I'm right-eye dominant, but I'm left-handed, so I'll cope. And he's like, he was shocked. He says, I need Valium. I said, well, I don't need anything. I'd like a cup of coffee, But other than that, how do you react to what you're facing dictates who you are, in my opinion. And that's just my opinion. And so that's how I reacted, because life goes on. I'm not dead, So here we go. We learn how to be left-eyed, whatever that means. Well, then I had a fairly massive heart attack. I had it, from my point of view, the night before I went to the hospital. And I spent all night going, what in the heck is going on? Because I didn't have any pain. I just had a stiffness in my back. And I thought, why does my back hurt? I have fractured my neck, C5-6, and had fusion. I've had this shoulder torn off and sewn back on. I had been through some other things, but I couldn't figure out why my back hurt in this place. So I got up and I felt very tired, and I couldn't understand that either. So I told her, you need to call 911, something is wrong. Now this woman here loves me dearly and panicked like nobody's business because she was terrified. And I'm all calm about it because, okay, it's just another storm, right? So we'll get through this one too, or not. But I wasn't invested in the outcome. I just want to know what's going on. So the paramedics come and they're like, your blood pressure's wonderful. and you don't seem to be panicking. So what do you want to do? I said, you should probably go to the hospital. Because I didn't know what had happened, but I was sure it was something catastrophic. But again, they're like, you're really calm, and your blood pressure is 120/80. This doesn't make sense. Well, I get to the hospital, and they check me out, and there is something called troponin. Look it up on the Oracle, otherwise known as YouTube. And when you have high levels of it, that tells them that you had a heart attack. And my levels were sky high, massive. And they're like, so you must have had a heart attack yesterday. I said, okay. You're having heart surgery, triple bypass, 8:30 tomorrow morning. At this point, dealing with it kind of went out the window. I understood then that I am looking death in the face. And then when you see your own mortality, it changes you. So the nurses were all like, oh, are you going to be okay? Do we need to do this? Do we need to do that? The doctors are all like, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And I'm like, okay. And they're like, you're ridiculously calm about this, Mr. Johnson. And I said, well, again, what are you going to do? So that night in the hospital, alone, and this is this is in September as the pandemic is in full swing. 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And the hospital is locked down. And there are people in the hallways on gurneys, and everyone is wearing hazmat suits, but me, And so they were very concerned about me getting sick. And I said, don't worry, I won't get COVID. And they laughed because, half the hospital staff is getting COVID as we're speaking. I said, no, that's not for me. I said, I'll deal with this, and then we'll deal with that. And every single time my nurses came in, and the nurses at St. Joe's were the best people on earth that I've ever met. They treated me like absolute gold. Back then I had longer hair and less wrinkles. And when I was brought into the cardiac unit, the first thing one of the nurses says is, "Oh my God, it's Neil deGrasse Tyson," because I looked like him at that point. And we got a big kick out of that. So I was Neil while I was in the hospital. And I know nothing about physics or astrophysics, so we won't go there. But they were absolutely the best people I had ever met. And they treated me golden. Absolutely the best treatment I ever got. Doctors, but the nurses and the staff were wonderful, and I cannot praise them enough. So that night, before my surgery, I am laying in a hospital room alone, because they won't let anybody come see me because of COVID. And I guess it was what some people would call their come to Jesus moment. So I said to myself, well, if this is your last night, what do you want to spend it doing? And do you have regrets? And I thought, I have a few. I regret that I'm not going to get to see my kids and wife again, obviously. I regret that I didn't make more of an impact in their lives, or get to, because if this is the end, then this is where it stops. But for the most part, I didn't have regrets. I regretted that I wasn't going to see everybody again. But as far as my life went, no, I lived it genuinely, honestly. And so no, I didn't regret it. So I wasn't worried about dying. And that, my kids, we talked about it afterwards, they couldn't understand that. They're young. They think they're going to live forever. When I was young, I thought I was going to live forever. But you don't. Nothing does. And so you have to come to terms with that. So in what I guess is my darkest hour, laying in that hospital room alone and awaiting somebody to cut my chest open and repair my heart, I asked the universe, is this it for me? And if it is, I'm all right with that. People's hearts are going to be broken, and I will regret missing what's to come, but I'm okay. Because if this is my last storm, I'll ride it. And about midnight, they came in, one of my nurses, and she says, "Do you want to pray?" And I said, "No." And it shocked her, because she had the chaplain with her. I said, "No, I've already made my peace with the universe, so I'll be all right. If you'd like to pray, feel free." And they did. They stood over my bed, they prayed for me. And I said, "Thank you." And the next morning, 8 o'clock, they're putting in the tubes, they're sticking in the IVs, they're shooting me full of stuff. And the doctor, who I was very fortunate, Dr. Luger, who was one of the people who was in on the first few open heart surgeries ever, was my surgeon. And so, again, the universe was looking out for me. And I had surrendered that night to whatever the outcome was going to be. Okay, I'm good with however this turns out, I will live with it, or not. So, when I woke up in recovery, and I was still intubated, and I woke up with the tube in, and I made the fatal mistake, don't ever do this, of reaching up to pull the tube out. I had just had my chest cracked open, and I had brand new staples in. And so as soon as I reached the tube, my body said, "You don't want to do that." But I was choking. So the nurses grabbed my arms and pulled them back down. And as soon as they did that, all of this 12 inches of sutures got really angry. And so I thought, okay, you can scream out loud and fight, or you can just stop struggling. And I was struggling. So I stopped, and I relaxed, and I waited till I got the tube out. And then I said, "Don't pull on my arms. it really hurts." And they said, "Don't try and pull the tube out." Okay, fair enough. Dr. Luber came in that morning, spoke to me about what had happened, and said, "I think you're going to be all right. We want you to get up in about 2 hours and try and walk." Now, they had taken arteries from both of my legs. So my legs did not want to get up and walk. But I had come through that storm. So nothing was going to stop me. So I got up, and they gave you a little cart. You rest your elbows on it. And they say, do a lap around the nurse's station, and then you can go back to bed. I did 20. The nurses were looking at me and laughing. Nobody does this. 4 hours later, they said, do it again. I did 50 laps. And they're like, you want to go home? I said, yeah, tomorrow. No, you'll be here for 3 or 4 days. I was out the next. I literally had come through the storm, and nothing was going to stop me at that point. Now, COVID was raging. Everybody was sick. Couldn't go anywhere. So I went home. And this wonderful woman next to me, through all the panic that she went through, and absolute terror, because she couldn't come see me at the hospital because of COVID. So I was in that room for 3 days alone, not counting the 2 days before that. And when you're alone and you're staring at your mortality, you learn about yourself. Well, I learned that I am absolutely resilient. Absolutely. And that I don't have any fear of death because I've been that close. And when you're that close, that's when you discover whether it's going to beat you or whether you're going to survive. And I knew I was going to survive. So I was very, very happy to get home to the people I loved and the woman that took care of me through my rehab. So for me, it's a different view than a lot of other people have. Terror is easy to give into, very easy to give into. It serves no purpose, none. Fear serves no purpose other than debilitate you and make your decision-making poor. So I gave them up that night in the hospital. I'm not going to be scared anymore. I'm not. And I'm not going to worry about tomorrow because I know that I am loved by the universe. And we all are. And in those times when it's the hardest for you, that's when you have to remember. You have to remember. I remembered.
Thank you. So, reliving that trauma right there for me. Thank you for sharing. So, do you think that today that gives you hope for continuing on? That you have this change? Is it different than what you had before? Has it changed? Does that circumstance change you today?
Well, open heart surgery changes everyone.
I can imagine so.
Everyone. What it changed in me was honestly my belief in my own resiliency. That's what it changed in me. Before that, we're a wonderful machine, the best machine the universe has come up with. And I don't mean machine as in mechanical. I mean our entire being is fantastic. We do things that nothing else can. This is the best tool ever invented, period, because it makes every other tool. This one helps too. But still, we are fantastic machines. And when you are faced with a breakdown in that machine, how you react is up to you. I chose to believe that I was going to be all right. I chose to believe that this was necessary for my development. And so I am different after I believe in my own resilience.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I don't think I have to ask any more questions. Thank you.
No, I talked long enough.
He knows how to talk. I think that these conversations, being able to hear the stories of other people, are very important, to be able to give you inspiration, to be able to, wherever you are on your spectrum, wherever you are in your experience, to realize that there are people out there that are persevering, that are going beyond what they believe that their bodies and their hearts and minds and their souls can do. And you are supported by the universe, and I think Rick's story is a wonderful story about perseverance, resilience, and also support and love from the whole entire universe. So I'm going to have Nicola sing us another song, and we'll come back for meditation.
Wow, thank you so much, Rick, for sharing your story. I actually had a different song prepared, and this is what happens every time I'm at Unity, I swear. I think I'm going to change it up because Spirit was speaking to me that this song needs to be played. I played it the last time I was here, and it's all about being calm in the storm and just knowing that it's kind of based off that old Winston Churchill quote, if you're going through hell, keep going because there is another side to it. A song called Washington Sky. Under a Washington sky, the news is heavy and thoughts are deep on your mind. The night reveals the truth in the blink of an eye. I am led onward by the moon. Under a Washington sky, there's no escaping reality. Threat will follow you or just pass you by. The calm before the storm begins to question why. Why is it always under a Washington sky? Under a Washington sky, the news broke and it broke me. I wondered if I'll ever forget. Sun lights the way no one wants to take, yet we can't fall asleep at night. Under a Washington sky, there's no time for regret. Threat will follow you or just pass you by. The calm before the storm begins to question why. Why is it always under a Washington Washington sky, the news comes, ready or not. It came with a weight undefined. The early morning wakes from the darkness, and I'm already on my way gone. Under a Washington sky, there's no rhyme or reason for time. Threat will follow you or just pass you by. Calm before the storm begins to question why. Why is it always under a Washington sky? Oh,
Thank you, Nicola. That was wonderful. Thank you. It was perfect. Oh, now that I've gone through a little bit of stress myself, and hearing this story just makes me a little stressed out. I need to meditate. So let's get into a space of meditation. Whatever's comfortable for you. If you would like to put your feet on the floor, take a breath, close your eyes, and just get centered inside yourself. Realizing that everything that you are, everything that you've brought with you, everything, the thoughts, the ideas, the emotions, the experiences that you've had, the story that you tell yourself, everything
is not really who you are. The body that you're in, the experiences that you have, that is what we have in this earthly plane. We have this experience while we are here. But if you take a moment and you take away all of the things that identify you, whether it be your material possessions or the story that you have about yourself, even your name, those are things that are given to you. But when you come into this world, you already have what you need. You have spirit, you have your soul. And that's what we want to get in touch with today. Take a breath and think of the things that you have in your life that identify you. And next to you there's this big, huge duffel bag. And it's empty right now. And we're going to fill it up with all of the things that identify who you are. First, I'd like you to take the things that you believe that you are. The thoughts that you think about yourself, the things you say to yourself on a daily basis, whether they be positive or negative, that's not the point. The point is we're going to set them aside. So take them and put them in the duffel bag. We're going to be able to pick this up again. This duffel bag will be there for you, and we're going to be able to have our identity again. But right now, we're going to set those things aside. So what are the things that you have in this world that you think identify, make you a person, make you who you are, whether it be your car, or your house, or your garden, or whatever it is? They're not bad things, they're just things we're setting aside right now. So take them and put them in the bag, along with the ideas and the thoughts that you set in there. What about your job, your profession, the things that you do in your life, your hobbies, the things that you think are so important? They are, but right now they're not. So let's take them and set them aside as well. Put them in the bag. Now think of anything else, the story that you brought with you, the things that have happened to you, the things people have said to you, all of those things that you think are you, put them in that bag as well. And when you're stripped bare of all of the things that you think identify you, what do you have left? You are a soul within this wonderful body of yours. You came into this world already fully formed with what you needed. Your body is just a vessel. And when you get in touch with that source of who you are, that God space, that is who you truly are. All of those things that you have, the possessions that you think make who you are, that's not who you are. Who you truly are is the person that you came in as an infant, and the person you will leave as. The soul that brings you light. The source of God that's within you all the time. It animates you. It gives you everything you need. It heals you. It uplifts you. And all you have to do to reach that is to let go of all the baggage and all the things that you carry around with you, and just become centered in yourself and realize that I am not this body. I am not the things that I have. Not the things I possess, they're the things that I do. I am a child of God. I am pure essence of spirit. And we need to remember that if we just get quiet, let go of all of that noise, the things that we believe create who we are, and we become centered in that space within us, when we get quiet, and we can listen for that still small voice. The things that we have bring us happiness and things to do in our lives, but true joy true peace, true love is found within God and the source within. And every time you sit to meditate, every time you sit to pray, you get in touch with that is truly you. And all the other things are just worldly possessions, things that we have accumulated in this life. But what we truly need is this, it was within us already. And the voice that we need to hear is there. It's not the voice of our mind. It's not the voice of our family. It's not the voice of the friends that we have. It's not the voice of the media or anyone else. It is the voice of God that we need to hear. Sitting in the light of God, sitting in the light of Source, sitting in the light of Christ, being able to connect, to plug in, to recharge, knowing that healing, love, and peace is found there. I think of it more as a time of connecting to my charging cable. It allows me to rejuvenate, to remember who I truly am, to know that all of the things I am dealing with in this world are not as important as who and where I came from. And now that we've taken this time to recharge, to be rejuvenated, to remember who we truly are, now we can remember to take up the things that we put aside if you'd like. If you'd like to leave them in that duffel bag and just pick it up and take it with you, and you can assimilate that all again, integrate that back into your body if you'd like. Or you can leave it there and think about the things you don't really need right now, because you have everything you need inside of you. Everything is there. All you have to do is pray, breathe, and be centered within yourself. And as we end this meditation, remembering that this space is always available, you can come here anytime. Picking up the bag if you'd like, or the things within your bag, and integrating that into your world. You can do that now if you'd like. But I'd like you to bring your awareness back into this space. Staying connected with your charging cable. Being able to connect with God at all times, even with all of that stuff that you have. Take a breath. Begin to feel your body, feel your mind, your heart, your soul, your consciousness within your body. Feeling yourself in this physical realm, feeling your feet on the floor. Take another breath. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes and you can bring your awareness back to this space. I'm going to have Nicola take us out of meditation, and then we'll come back for announcements.
I keep fighting voices in my head that say not enough. Every single lie that tells me I will never measure up. Am I more than just the sum of every high and every low? Remind me once again just who I am, because I need I find my worth in you, my identity. Ooh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I'm falling short. When I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. Taking all I have and now I'm laying it at your feet. You'll have every failure, God. You'll have every victory. Ooh, you say I am loved when I can't feel a thing. You say I am strong when I think I am weak. You say I am held when I'm falling short. When I don't belong, you say I am yours. And I believe, oh, I believe what you say of me. Oh, I believe.
Thank you so much. Oh, we've come to the portion of our service where we open our hearts to give. All donations that we receive here at Unity of Tacoma go to support the missions and the ministries and the outreach and the musicians that we have here at Unity of Tacoma. And there are so many different ways you can give. You can go to our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Unity of Tacoma to give via Facebook. You can go to our website at unityoftacoma.org/donate to give via PayPal there. You can donate through Zelle using our telephone number 253-576-3225, or you can mail a check to Unity of Tacoma, P.O. Box 112289, Tacoma, Washington 98411. And as we prepare to give, I'd like you to hold that preparation of that thing that you would like to give within your hand, holding it within you, that prosperity, allowing it to move through you and as you. And as Jesus said in Luke 6:38, give and you will receive. You will be given much, pressed down, shaken together, and running over. It will spill into your lap. The way you give to others is the way God will give back to you. And as you visualize holding your gift within your hand, please repeat after me. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am grateful for my blessings today. I am grateful in every way. And so it is. Amen. May the blessings of your gifts bring so many blessings back to you. We're so grateful for each and every one of you here at Unity of Tacoma. Thank you so much. I would like to bring up Victoria to do our announcements. We have a couple of those. And yeah, you can give her that one. But you need to stand over there because that's the mic that we're going to have on. We're going to have that one.
Okay.
You want to hold the mic to your mouth, though.
All right. Well, Lori, yesterday at our sandwich making, told me that I was going to be the announcement person now because I so extemporaneously did it last week. So she wanted me to repeat. And she took out the boundaries. And so I'm going to heed that. She said, you don't have to be anybody that you're not. We want you to be transparent. We want you to be authentic and just say it in the joyous way you like to say things. So here it is. In honor of today, I wore my party pants, and this is me. So our announcements today are, first of all, I want to say that this week is Denise's birthday.
Woohoo!
Y'all come. We'll do. We'll get down. Thank you. And it's also her daughter's birthday. And a couple of weeks ago, it was her son's birthday, a grandson's birthday. So it's a birthday time in that household for sure. Congratulations. And also, I'd like to say that next Sunday is Mother's Day. And a place close to all of our hearts, I'm sure, in one way or another, to all the mothers that we have, whether they're our birth mothers or the other mothers that we adopt through life. And Lori's going to be speaking, and Stephen Plummer is going to be our music next week. So I hope y'all come, and that'll be at 10 o'clock. And then I saved something for the last because I am a universe baby. And if anybody knows me, they know that I make reference to universe all the time. I mean, I'll be talking to a friend, and we'll be talking about an issue, and all of a sudden I'll get a call or something will happen, and I'll say, there's that universe again, universe in action. Well, the universe is in action right this minute, and it happened just a few minutes ago, and y'all didn't even know. Pastor Jimmy, could you come up here, please? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, please.
He says, please, really?
So here's the deal. We did sandwich making yesterday, and our benefit goes towards the homeless here in Tacoma. And we are working in collaboration with Pastor Jimmy. And he has come in early today to pick up what we did yesterday.
Yes.
And I am so honored that he's here and that you all get to meet him, because he is what makes what we do extra special, because he takes it to the people who really need it. I mean, he goes directly to the camps wherever they are. And that's how it is. And yesterday on the phone, I asked Pastor Jimmy a little bit more about, what he does and the name of his church, which is
Spirit of the Lord.
Spirit
Ministry.
of the Lord. Pastor who?
Richard Garrett.
Richard Garrett. And I said, well, so Jimmy, what is your part of it? And he said, well, God speaks to us all. And God told me I can feed people. So that's what he does.
Said, if you love me, feed my sheep.
If you love me, feed my sheep. So welcome all, Pastor Jimmy. I hope you come again.
Oh, can I say one thing
Oh,
real quick?
absolutely.
Oh, this church, we've been doing this for a while. And I just want to thank this church, Miss Lori and her husband,
Thank you.
for allowing me to be a part of this. Thank you. God bless.
Thank you.
Thank you. So I hope you all have a great week this week. And we'll see you next month for sandwich making. We need to come up with a name for this outreach thing. Making a difference, the grateful hour, I'm not sure what it is. But I know that when we do it, I feel joyful. I feel grateful. And it feels so warm, fuzzy to be giving. And so we'll see you on June 3rd for more of being grateful and making a difference. And pass it back to whomever I'm supposed to give this to.
Thank you. All right. Thank you very much, Victoria. That was great. I let her go, and there she goes. Oh, our benediction for today was written by Unity Thought, New Thought Movement author by the name of Emmett Fox. And he said, think of the conditions you want to produce. If you want to be healthy, happy, prosperous, doing a constructive work, having a continuous understanding of God, you do not picture it necessarily, but you think it, you feel it, and you get interested in it. True feeling in thought is interest, and that is God. I want to thank Nicola for being our musical guest today, and she's going to sing us out with our peace song. If you can, please stand and sing with us. And if you know the words, great. If you don't know the words, hopefully they'll be on the screen for you, for those of you who are at home, so you can sing along.
And hopefully I don't sing it differently.
That's okay. We can fill in the words.
Sing what you want.
Okay.
Let there be peace on earth and let it